Hello and welcome to Your Shout. This is the first post-match Your Shout since we started the concept, really, and it's the fallout from the Man United game. So I had videos coming in on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday evenings where basically people are whinging about everything, but perhaps hopefully looking forward to the imminent arrival of Carvalho from Portugal. I'll leave it to the guys to tell you all the details, but if you've got any opinions about your predictions or anything that's going on for the Southampton game, or indeed if you go to the Southampton game, I'm going there myself, and you've got any footage from the game or crowd scene, send them in. You don't have to necessarily speak to the camera yourself. If you've taken some pictures or some footage, I'll still pop it on here, so please do send it in to me. info@hammerschat.com. That is info@hammerschat.com. And obviously send your opinions in there yourself as well. Just record yourself on your mobile phone and they will all be gratefully received. Before we kick off the videos, big shout out and a big thank you to our sponsors, Noble Holidays. The link is below. I'm on holiday at the moment, actually, having a very nice time, but getting back for the Southampton game, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, first up is Chaz. Let's see what he thinks about everything.
Just got in from work, I'm absolutely knackered, but the show must go on. Nah, I haven't got a lot to say about the Man U game. As you know, it was pretty poor. But not until like the last half hour we completely folded in on ourselves. Noble was really good, Noble was our best player. Zabaleta, he was good, he worked his socks off, as did Arnautovic and Hernandez, but Zabaleta just couldn't live with the pace that Man United possessed. But Declan Rice, when he came on, wow. He's even better than I thought he was, and I really, really rate the kid. I think start him against Southampton, definitely, and we'll keep a clean sheet. I don't even think that's too dramatic to say. He was that good when he came on. I think Carvalho will sort out our midfield issues because Obiang was really poor. He's been really poor in pre-season, and I actually think he's our best player, so the fact that he's playing really poor, I don't know what's going on with him at the minute. But Lanzini coming back, Antonio coming back, we're only going to get better. Chicharito coming back as well. As I said, with Carvalho going into that midfield, gives Bilic a headache. Maybe I don't want Bilic having that headache. I want someone else having that headache. But I'll save that for another one if we really go down the shitter. But Jota or Jota, I don't know how to don't know how to pronounce it. Coming in from Brentford. Spoken to a few of my mates that support Brentford. A few of them that support teams in the Championship, they say he's very good. Better than Snodgrass, apparently. I mean, I think I'm better than Snodgrass, so anything's an improvement. Faguli's on the way out. Snodgrass looks like he's on the way out, so we're getting rid of who we wanted. One in, one out. I'd like to see us sign a centre-back, because I was really against signing a centre-back because I thought it would stump the growth of Burke, Oxford and Rice, but Burke and Oxford have been sent out on loan and Rice is playing in midfield. So sod it, let's get another centre-back in, shore our defence up. Ben Gibson from Middlesbrough is who I personally want because he's young, he's English and he looked very good last season. And I think letting him rot in the Championship, I think we should just go and grab him. It wouldn't cost that much. I still would like to see us sign Traore as well, off topic. I'd like to see us sign Traore. Over Jota, because I don't know a lot about Jota, and I know Traore is really, really fast, which is what we've been lacking, is what we're still lacking, because Ayew really, really struggled yesterday on the counter-attack. Ayew was really, really poor. And the other one, people have been saying, who I'm really with, I think Brighton have bid 23 million for him, and that's Mamadou Sakho from Liverpool. He kept Palace up last season, you can't say any different, so what could he do in a better side? I'd hope we find out, if I'm honest.
Nothing is ever off topic on Your Shout, Chaz. That's Chaz there. Thank you very much for sending that in. Chaz, who thinks he is a better player than Robert Snodgrass. My money's on Chaz. Next up, it's Mike.
Hello, Hammers fans. Mike here. Just with some thoughts about the game against Manchester United. Before the game, I predicted a scoreline on the Hammers Chat YouTube thing. I predicted a score of 3-0 to Man U, and I got a little bit of grief, not really grief, but you know, a few lot of comments about being negative and etc. etc. My reasoning for thinking we were going to lose 3-0 was I still think we've got major issues in midfield. I felt that other teams just waltz right through our midfield all season long, and I thought Manchester United would do that to us. before the game, I thought that. And it turned out my 3-0 prediction was on the optimistic side because we lost 4-0. We have got major issues in midfield. We really do. I thought they completely overran our midfield. Now I think William Carvalho has been linked with us and we're trying to get him. He would be a great signing for us. We really need someone who can sit there. But there is one other major issue I think we have to address. Having watched that game against Man U, I wasn't at the game, watched it on TV. I'm sure most of you did. But here is the thing. We played with no real unity or purpose. We obviously had a game plan, but we just don't seem to play as a team. A lot of teams with far players that aren't really as good as ours, just seem to be a cohesive unit. Our defence isn't a cohesive unit. Our midfield certainly far from being a cohesive unit. And in attack, we weren't very cohesive either. To be honest with you, I'm not that surprised about the attack. It's a lot of newer players trying to gel there. I kind of get that. But for me personally, I think we really lack some sort of real togetherness as a team. We're not really defending as a team. We're not really attacking as a team. I hope that improves. Oh yeah, it's going to have to, but it was the issue last season. Just saying. Let's hope it gets better, people. Come on, you Irons.
Nostradamus Mike there, who almost predicted the 4-0 capitulation against Manchester United. Although I probably should say at this point that we do have a prediction league on the forum at hammerschat.com. Somebody's already won a signed Tony Cottee print. So get yourself on there. You don't have to join from the start. hammerschat.com, enter the prediction league. Loads of prizes being given away all season. And despite what Mike would have you believe, he's not even top. So there you go. Anyway, next up, all the way from New Zealand, we've got AJ, aka Kiwi Hammer.
So, yeah, that Manchester United game wasn't the best. It wasn't what we expected at all, but, bear with me on this, but it could have been worse. Yes, first day of the league, you know, we didn't look our best at all. I mean, let's face it. But in the grand scheme of things, we could have put out a B team and be done over 5, 6, 7-0. We all have to be thankful that Mkhitaryan's goal was offside. Otherwise, that would have been a 5-0 drubbing instead of a 4-0 beating. I think Mkhitaryan's goal, although it was good, I am glad that it was, I guess, ruled offside. It was fantastic. Overall, though, my thoughts of the game, Bilic needs to get his tactics right before Newcastle United away. That's how long I would give it. I think overall what we need to do as a team is to get that mentality in place. This isn't pre-season. This is the Premier League, 2017-18 season. We also need to work on ways of getting some of our slower players out. That's why I think this Carvalho guy should really come into the West Ham squad in place of Noble, then have Rice come in and replace Winston Reid. I mean, yeah, I understand he's a Kiwi and I understand that he is West Ham through and through, but in my opinion, Reid is just starting to slow down a bit. In that game, he looked like he was about to, ask for a blanket and a pillow and go and have a nap sort of thing. So, yeah, there are a couple of players that we need to get out of the first team, I think, at least start to sub out earlier. And I think there are a couple of players that we do need to get in before the end of this transfer window. Maybe if we just get Carvalho in place of Reid, in place of Noble, that'll be good. But overall, I mean, I'm a little upset with it, but I'm not upset. Does that make sense? I hope so. Have a good day.
Hello, Lynn here. Surely wouldn't let me travel up on a coach to the away game at Old Trafford yesterday, so I had to go and watch it in a boozer instead. I went and found one in Man United Heartland, in Basildon. Apparently, we'd signed a new right-back, Zambaretta. I couldn't see him on the pitch. Couldn't see the left back either, or the midfield. I've said it once, I'll say it again. You'll never win a game of football without Andy Carroll. He's a proper cockney. Come on, you Irons.
Hello, Mr. B here. I thought I'd give it 24 hours for the dust to settle before I did this little piece, just reviewing sort of the game yesterday. I was not surprised by the result. I did actually back it as a 3-0 victory. I just didn't see us getting anything out of Man U, not with the strength of team they've got. So the result to me wasn't a major surprise, but what was a surprise was just the way we played. I just thought it was dreadful. I mean, I was buzzing for the season for that first game, as I'm sure most people were. I don't think the players were buzzing for it. Declan Rice aside, who I thought was superb when he came on. The rest of them seemed to be just be going through the motions again, and I think we've still got problems. And that brings me on to our friend Slav, who I think has become kind of a bit of a Marmite character. You either love him or I wouldn't say loathe him, but you're not in the Slav camp, and I'm afraid I'm definitely not in the Slav camp. And I was saying it last year. I think that very first year he was new. He was setting a West Ham team up like people weren't expecting us, sitting deep, hitting people on the break. But we had one person, and I hate to mention the snake word, but Payet was that outlet. And without him and without Lanzini now, we just seem to be unable to make any sort of transition from back to front. There's no conduit in there at all. And I think that was kind of highlighted yesterday. We just sat so deep, we were just inviting trouble. It was just a case, well, come on, pull us apart. And with the quality that they've got, and they have got quality, and some of our defending, it was just, it was just going to happen, wasn't it? But a lot of that, as I say, I think that's down to the way it was set up. Only Slav knows why he went with 4 at the back and not 5. I thought that we may have been better set up as a 5, but hey, I'm not a Premiership manager. What do I know? But I think there's some worrying signs still. I think pre-season, I know a lot of people say it's purely just for fitness. I don't wear that. I think it's to start building a game plan as well. And I didn't see very much of that in pre-season. Okay, they've got fit, but what else did that prove? Not a lot. And now we come into the to the crunch. Okay, it's one game, and we may be back on track against Southampton, but without Lanzini in there, we don't have a playmaker, and we are desperate for a playmaker, somebody, as I say, who can join a play up and who can start threading balls through and making things happen to unlock defences, because we just don't have any idea. We're clueless. There's no concept of what we should be doing. The players, I don't think the players kind of know what they're doing. And to me, that just comes down to piss poor management again. I like Slav as a person, I really do. I just don't see him as the man who's going to take us onto that next level. The board are buying the players. We need somebody who can do something with them. I might be proved wrong, and hopefully, end of the season or mid part of the season, I will be the first person to put my hands up and say, got it wrong. Slav is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I don't think so. Nice guy. Don't think he cuts it as a manager. I really don't. Hopefully, if we do get Carvalho in, he may shore up the midfield a bit, but I still think we need somebody else, particularly if Lanzini decides he's going to walk and go elsewhere. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll finally waft that bit of paper under his nose and get him to sign it. But without a playmaker, Slav ain't got a plan B. And it's worrying. Ta-da.
Mr. B there, who clearly wants to waft something under somebody's nose. Not a fan of Slav, but if he's proved wrong, he's happy to hold his hands up and say thank you also to AJ there, Kiwi Hammer. Always very entertaining fellas. Thank you very much for sending your clips in. Finally, we're going to have Nibbles. Sorry, Nibbles, had a bit of trouble. Your audio wasn't syncing up with the video, so I had to I used my butchering skills and had to chop it all up, really. So we've lost you. We've put a lovely picture of your face on there, mate, which everyone can watch throughout. But all the audio's there, so everyone will know what you're saying He's not happy either. I'm going to finish on Mr. Nibbles there. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for joining in. And I will catch up with you. Hopefully I'll see some of you in the Boozer in Yates's before the Southampton game. So, yeah, oh, hello, something's fallen off there. So, yes, until next time, thank you. Please do subscribe. That's the button down there in the corner. If you don't subscribe, we're probably going to lose to Southampton. That's how important it is. So click that button. Thanks for watching. Here's Nibbles. See you next time.
Hi everyone. With regards to the game, I expected a loss, to be honest, a draw at best, but I think what pissed me off the most was the way in which we lost. You know, it wasn't a 2-0 loss or a 3-1 loss even, you know, with us nicking a goal. It was a 4-0 drubbing, and I think that really pissed off a lot of fans, you know, that there seemed to be no real fight in the team. I don't know where Ayu's meant to play. I personally think he's better off as a centre forward. You know, he's a poacher, so I think he would benefit from playing up top with Hernandez. I don't think he's good on the wing. I think he's too slow. I think Noble had an alright game. I don't know why he was taken off so early. I think he made a few good interceptions. He looked like he was up for it, so I think it was a bit unfair to take him off. Mazuaku, it's a funny one, Mazuaku. Like Gonzo, I really like him, but in defence, it seems that he comes to pieces at times. I think he's really good as a winger. You know, attacking-wise, he's pretty good, but defence-wise, he was abysmal. I think Obiang had a really bad game, probably the worst game he's had for us, but it was the first game of the season, so I don't think that's anything to go by. Centre-backs, Ogbonna didn't have the best of games, did he? I think Reed played the best that he could, but I think he needs someone better, which brings me to the silver lining of the game, if you like. I think Declan Rice looks amazing. I think he's ready to make that step up to the starting 11 now. He looked great. He played out of his position, and he wasn't scared to go forward, was he? I had a look at his stats, and I think he had 98% passing. He didn't get intercepted once. He looks pretty good, that lad. I'd like to have him starting. I'm really happy about Carvalho coming in. Looks like we're going to get him now, which is really good. A lot of people were saying, well, a few people are saying, you know, he's not that quick, but he makes up for that with his passing rate. I think he's great. You know, I think he could do the job of two defensive midfielders by himself, which would allow us potentially to play, for example, like a 4-4-2 diamond with playing two strikers up top, you know, Hernandez and Sacco, or Hernandez and Cowell when he comes back, if he comes back. I think that could solve a lot of problems. He doesn't need to be quick, you know, he's a defensive midfielder and he makes up for that, like I said, in his ability to pass and his vision. Can't wait for Lanzini to come back. We need to hold on to him. And yeah, looking forward to Antonio coming back for Southampton, which I think would be a better result. So come on, you Irons.